Welcome back, everyone. Mrs. Newmeyer here, back with you to do our hands-on science project. This week, we're going to be doing the pancreas, the gallbladder, and the spleen. But first, I want to talk to you about cells. Now, cells are what our body are made of. They're tiny little building blocks that are over all the organs, all the tissues. Everything that our body is made of is composed of these tiny little cells. Now, I'll show you some pictures. It's kind of cool to see. Here's a cartoon drawing of what a cell looks like, and here's a picture of them dividing because billions of cells are made every minute. They grow and divide and continue to make new parts of our body as the old ones die off. You'll see, like here, when we talked about our skin, like when we learned about how our skin sloughed off, here's a picture of a skin cell and how we talked about how it rapidly divides and is continuing to grow and grow. That's why when we get a cut, it can heal really quickly because new cells are formed and take the place of where the old ones were. Cells make up our muscles, our blood, our skin. Here's some examples of cells. There's nerve cells, bone cells, blood cells, fat cells, all kinds of different cells all throughout our body. And we'll learn more about some of these blood cells and how they take the food and the oxygen to the rest of our body and the nutrients that they need. Amazing how God made our body. Okay, our first body part we're going to talk about today is our spleen. That's this one right here. And you can color it a dark purple color because as you'll see, that's what color it is. I've got this picture here. If you look, this is the spleen. It's right under where the rib cage is on the left side of our abdomen area here. Now, the spleen is important for filtering blood cells, getting the debris such as bacteria and worn out blood cells out of the blood. It also does another thing. It produces white blood cells to fight infection. So I wanted to show you a couple of pictures of these cells that we're talking about. Here's a picture of our blood cells that it filters. And here's a picture of white blood cells that are what fights infection. So it produces those white blood cells that we need in order to fight off infections so we don't get sick, or it helps us when we do. And here's the blood cells that it also stores. And so it not only filters it, but it also stores the red blood cells for later when our body needs it. The other two organs we're going to talk about today are the pancreas and the gallbladder. So I'll show you on this picture again. So we have the pancreas right here, and I'll show you in this picture. We have the liver, which is right here. Now, in this picture, the liver is not in this picture because it covers up the pancreas. We can't really see it. The stomach and the liver are in front of the pancreas. And so our pancreas is here. A lot of times we see it in pictures kind of a yellowish color. So that would be a nice color to color. And the gallbladder is tucked in under here, under the liver here. And we a lot of times see it as green in pictures. And I'll show you this in another illustration. That was a model, and here's an illustration of that. So here's our liver, and we'll talk about that in another week. But we're going to do the gallbladder and pancreas first so that we can assemble it on our body, and then in the following week we'll put the liver over the top. But they work together with the liver, and so I wanted to show you this picture. So the pancreas is a gland that helps us to digest food. It makes pancreatic juice, or that's what we call it, pancreatic juice. And it sends that juice to the small intestine to help break down the food in your small intestine so that your body can use it. It also is an important organ because it makes insulin, which is what helps regulate our sugars in the body, in our blood. And so that's an important thing. And a lot of times you'll hear about insulin when it comes to a disease called diabetes. And so that's an important thing. And if our if our pancreas is not working right with the insulin, sometimes we have to take it separately. So that is an important organ to be working and functioning well to help our body and what's in our blood, and also in our digesting of food. So here's our gallbladder here, and like I said, it sits right under the liver, and it's kind of a storehouse for our body. It stores a greenish yellow liquid, and that's probably why we tend to color it green. It's also dark colored in our body, like kind of a darkish greenish sort of color. And the bile is produced from the liver, and then it's stored in the gallbladder, and it's used to break down food and fats for our body to use. And so it's shaped like a pear here under the liver, and it's important for breaking down those fats so that our body can use them as they move through the intestines. Okay, now we're going to start assembling our body parts. This is what we have on our body so far, and it's time to put the pancreas on. Now, I put a little bit of glue right here in the middle of the pancreas so that both sides kind of can flip up. We're going to put it right in the middle of our kidneys towards the top here. Actually, a little bit, it's going to be more towards the middle, right, like that. Is close to the top, but kind of in the middle. Next, we're going to do the spleen, which is going to go on the top of the left kidney. So get my glue here, and we'll put that on top, and it's okay if it goes over the pancreas some. Okay. And then our gallbladder is going to be going on the top of the right kidney, like that. Now it's going to be covered up mostly by the liver once we get the liver in there. But you can see that. So we can still see our kidneys if we lift up the pancreas and the spleen over here, because we just have that part glued up there. And there we go with that part. Well, that concludes our video today. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.